Welcome to the Soulful Soundtrack of Life. I'm your host, full of sunshine, Dayna Sol, and I'm here to celebrate the symphony of life. Each episode, I interview people from every corner of the globe who I've met along my journey as a DJ. Together, we explore the songs that are connected to their stories, experiences, and rhythms that have created their own soundtrack of life. So tune in, turn up the volume, and let the beats of life guide you. This is the Soulful Soundtrack of Life. Welcome back to the show, my sparkly souls and music lovers. I'm your host, full of shine, Dayna Sol. Today, I'm excited to introduce you all to someone who truly stands out in the world of event entertainment. None other than DJ Axcess from right here in Columbus, Ohio. DJ Axcess is known for his incredible versatility and his ability to read the crowd. And he doesn't just play music. He creates an atmosphere that keeps the energy high and the dance floor buzzing. With experience nationwide and collaborations with big names like the Columbus Crew and Abercrombie & Fitch, he is a trusted partner for events ranging from weddings to high-profile corporate celebrations. DJ Axcess is not only a pro behind the decks, but also a skilled educator, helping fellow DJs through platforms like YouTube and even being selected as an educator for the Pittsburgh DJ Summit. Mike was one of the first DJs I met when I moved here to Columbus, Ohio 9 years ago, and we have been friends ever since. And instead of competing, we have fostered a collaborative environment, fueling each other's growth and celebrating each other's successes in the DJ world. His willingness to offer candid feedback and constructive criticism has been instrumental, and I am incredibly thankful for his friendship. I can't wait for you all to hear about all of these amazing songs that he has chosen that has shaped his life. So let's get into it. Hello, Mike, aka DJ Axcess. I am so excited. Welcome to the Soulful Soundtrack of Life podcast. How are you doing on this beautiful Tuesday?
I'm feeling great. 2025 been an amazing year. Good year for my Buckeyes. Just got back from New Orleans.
Oh, yeah. Tell everybody what you did down in New Orleans.
Yeah, so I did a Super Bowl event for Abercrombie, and they brought me down. So I got to hang out, do a few parties on Friday, eat some amazing food, hang out with a buddy of mine. It was a long show, 8 hours straight of DJing. But I brought my djembe along, so that kept me kind of interested, and it was good practice, and the feedback was fantastic. So
it's called the djembe. Yeah,
djembe. Yes,
djembe.
Yep. So similar to bongos.
I was going to ask you about that. Yeah. When did you start incorporating that into your sets?
Last March, I went down to Miami for Ultra, and we were at Live. And outside of Live, there's a hotel bar, and they had a DJ because it's Ultra weekend. And this guy went up and got up on the bar. He had this djembe drum, and he was drumming his butt off. And I'm like, wow, it's really cool. And then of course this drunk girl came over, and she's like, and goes up on him. And then he actually presented the djembe to her, and she was banging on it, and it didn't sound terrible.
Yeah.
Whatever, she did okay. But it was that sparked in me wow, this isn't just him doing his thing. He's able to interact with the crowd, make a really good experience for these people. And it's so easy. You buy a djembe, which was $100. You buy a case, which is $15. And then it's just how much time you want to invest. I only know maybe 3 or 4 basic patterns, but you can break up the patterns, and to somebody who doesn't know what's happening, it sounds good. And like I said, you can either present to someone who has no idea what's going on, but as long as they have a decent amount of rhythm, it's going to sound okay. And it's been nice to incorporate that in events where maybe I just am DJing, but I want to add a little bit of pizzazz, a little bit of interaction.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah, that's a cool tool to use. I'm sure it makes it more fun for you too. Like you said, during a long set where you're more ambiance music, then you have something to grab and just jam to. I love it.
It's been fun. I didn't realize how much I would enjoy it. I played drums when I was younger. My dad played drums.
Oh, did you?
And then so I was banging on his kit, and then we'd fight over the kits. And then I ended up playing bass guitar. And I have my pads. I think you can see them. I have my pads over here, which I can play drums on. And it's been a nice addition. As much as I think the pads are more dynamic and cooler as what I can do, piano, drums, saxophone, I think the live element, the instrument is cooler to people. So I could do much more fun and interesting musical things on my pads but I think it's the visual of, oh, this person's playing an instrument that makes it actually cool to the general public.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's just like that extra wow factor that appeals to people. It sees, I feel, I mean, it brings a different energy, different element, but also the reaction from the crowd on the dance floor is just priceless. I love watching people react to the drummer when I have a drummer with me, or the sax.
Yeah, you know how it goes. I know who I'm talking to.
Yeah. No, and I know I've always thought about myself, like learning an instrument. Like violin is something actually I'd be interested in learning, and who knows, we'll see. Maybe I'll pick that up here soon. But I feel like that would be super fun to add, like get this really cool LED or like a disco ball covered violin, and bring that out.
Metallic and have a nice light shining on you. That'd be really cool. The outfit to match, of course.
Ooh, now my wheels are turning. And
I
know that's one thing I definitely have always admired about you is just, I love that you, incorporate all these different elements into your set, and you're just so musically talented as well. So it seems to come easy for you too.
I have some systems in place. 5 minutes a day. It's always like,
there you go, everybody. Just 5 minutes a day, take it from Mike. Yeah. And then you can become an expert at anything. But that is true. It's just consistency.
Yeah. And your violin stuff, you'd only need like maybe 3 songs, one at the beginning of the performance, one at the middle of the performance, and one at the end. And as long as you know those 3 songs really well, people in their mind say, oh, wow, Dayna's really good at the violin. But in your heart, I only know 3 songs. But to the general public, again, oh, yeah, Dayna, you got to go see Dayna. She plays violin.
Ooh, okay. Well, just you guys wait. Stay tuned. It's going to be Dayna Sol, or it could be DJ Dayna Sol. I'll have to think of something. And the violin. Some kind of catchy
Dayna Sol Strings, maybe?
There we go. Dayna Sol Strings. I like that. Yeah. Oh, gosh. Just another thing that I need to add to my plate.
You got it.
Oh, my gosh. But I love this. Well, since we're talking all about music, and I can't wait to learn about, personally, your music journey from when you were little to today, and how music has shaped your life and has inspired you. And it obviously, from our initial conversation, people can tell that you have a music background. So that was sort of instilled in you from the early days, I guess, with you drumming with your father. So let's just dive into your soulful soundtrack of life. So for the first song, this is a little bit of a surprise. So I know I had asked you in the questionnaire about when you were born. And so what I do is I look up a song that was either released on the day you were born, or it was the #1 hit, in the top 100 Billboard charts of the day you were born. And I am so excited actually about this song. You might be surprised too, because actually George Michael, his song Father Figure. Do you remember this song?
No, I've never heard this song in my life.
Oh my gosh, are you serious?
I mean, maybe. I don't think so.
Here, I'm going to play a little snippet. This was one of his slower songs.
Okay, I have heard this. I definitely heard
okay. I figured you did, because it definitely was a hit, I would say. Not obviously as recognizable as Faith and some of his other Frida. Oh my gosh, I love George Michael. So anyway, so that Father Figure by George Michael was the #1 song on the day you were born. In 1988. And also his song Faith was the best-selling single of 1988. So George Michael was just, written in the stars in 1988.
He was killing it. This was the part I was most nervous about, because I thought about going and cheating and.
Oh, were you?
Because I know you do this, right? I listen to all your shows, and I was thinking about going back. I'm like, no, I can be surprised. It's okay, but I'm not a big fan of surprises. But this was a good one. I'll take some George Michael.
Well, I'm glad you saved it as a surprise. Yes, because you just don't know. That's a good one, though. That's a really good one. Oh my gosh.
I'll have to listen to the whole thing after this.
Yeah, you should. It's a good song. It actually, quick personal story with that particular song, that actually takes me back to a memorable moment in my life. Is I used to take swim lessons in the late 80s, exactly 80, I would say 87, 88 in Colorado Springs. And that song, for whatever reason, was playing one day when I went into the indoor pool to go to my swim lesson. And I just never forgot it.
Wow. They made an impact, just like being on the, random on the radio. It's crazy.
Yeah. It was just, I don't know why. I just vividly remember that moment, that day, that song playing, and that smell of the chlorine inside the indoor pool. And they were jamming to George Michael. Father Figure was playing.
Music is powerful.
It is. It's so powerful. And that's why I have this podcast. Okay. So from the day that you were born into your early childhood years, so what song do you remember listening to that brings back the most memories in a particular moment of your childhood? And
I
share
can't
that
talk
story.
about my childhood without mentioning Michael Jackson, Billie Jean being the number one song. I probably drove my parents nuts. There are photos of me with this little Fisher Price cassette player, and it would have like this little microphone on
The
it
red one? Did you have the
attached
red
to it.
Fisher Price?
Yeah, it's Fisher Price, and I would just that Michael Jackson CD was in there, and I would be singing, probably 3, 4 years old at this time, and it's just made such an impact on my life. I watch his videos all the time, where not just the music videos, but actually his performance, like the one he did. I think it was in Budapest or Germany or somewhere in there. You can find it online, where he just comes out of the floor on, I forget what you call those things, the toaster, I think they're called, and he comes from under the stage and jumps, and he just lands on the ground. He stands there for a minute and a half, maybe, like just the longest time. And the roar, the crowd, people fainting, just go. And so he waits, and as soon as the energy of the crowd dips just that tiny little bit, like he just goes, and people go even crazier than before. And that just was so powerful to me. Like the amount of just, he hasn't even done anything yet, and just the impact he's had on these people, and the way he understood energy and how to make music, but also how to use music to get the crowd just eating out of his hands. And then he would actually go into his performance, and it's just, we all know what Michael did on the dance floor. It was so powerful to me even then. I still find myself using what he did in my performances today. Like, what did DJs always talk about? Dead air, don't have dead air. Oh, this DJ had dead air. Well, for people who understand Michael Jackson, know that silence is a huge tool that you can use to get people to stop what they're doing, look at the DJ, and then you hit them with whatever is going to get them to jump up and dance. But I could go on forever about MJ.
That's so true. Oh my gosh. Yeah. I didn't even think about looking at an artist like Michael Jackson, and like you said, using him as an inspiration as a DJ.
Oh yeah.
And working the crowd and energy. Right as you described that whole scene, I can vividly see that and feel it. I even got goosebumps because I know exactly what you're talking about. I remember seeing that visual of him just standing there. And you're right, it's super impactful. I mean, he knew how to work the crowd. I mean, he's one of the most talented, iconic.
Like a magician. We just had the Super Bowl this past weekend, and Kendrick, I'm not a Kendrick fan, I'll be honest with you. I used to be, but then Drake's my guy. So the way he did to my boy is just, I can't forgive him yet. I'll forgive him eventually. I still play his music because I'm here for the crowd, and the crowd
right.
But if I had my choice, I'd have never played Not Like Us out. But compare that halftime show to what Michael did, where it's Michael coming out of the northwest side, and he's up on the stadium, and then he's over on the southeast side, and then boom, he's right in the center. He understood magic almost.
What year was that he performed?
Oh, good question. I want to say probably 90s.
I'll have to look that up.
Do I have Google close to me right now?
It's been a while since I've watched that halftime show. I should, that reminds me, I want to go back and watch that again. So with this, hold on, I just wanted to play a little bit more of the Billie Jean, even though everybody knows Billie Jean. But...
Oh yeah, that snare, that kick, instantly recognizable. I watched this guy on YouTube, and he plays this game where can you name the song after 1 second or one note, and
that part,
everyone gets that one. That would be the easiest on the planet, and it spawned more songs where they just stole that kick and that snare and then put some 80s synth behind it, and there was another hit and another hit. The mesh of pop and disco. We're gonna have an hour and a half long podcast talking about Michael Jackson. We could talk about
Michael Jackson and his influence on music and people for a couple hours, I'm sure.
Oh yeah.
Another time. Yeah. Well, I love that, you're the first to have Michael Jackson actually in your soundtrack of life. So I love that.
Because a little bit controversial, but I'm just talking about the music.
I know. I know. You have to kind of take his personal life out of it. I think I'm always forever going to be a fan, no matter, whatever happened, behind in his personal life, closed doors, but you cannot argue with the fact he's a genius in music. So, all right. So moving into your teenage or college years, and actually by your choice in song, I already know it's your college years that you picked. So what is this song? And what moment does that take you to that made a big impact on your life during your college years?
This is Hang On Sloopy, and this is a song I truthfully don't even like.
I know. I
It's
actually
play. Yeah, go ahead.
here. Let's play so.
I don't even like this song. If you were to play this for me in any other circumstance outside of Ohio State winning a football game or a basketball game or being myself one of the first on-field DJ for the Ohio State Buckeye football team, playing for their basketball team, going there, starting my DJ career there, I don't even like the song. But there are so many moments, because when I was answering this question, I was really having a tough time. Okay, high school was in my 2000s hip hop era, but like, am I really listening to those songs now all the time? No, not really. Okay, I could talk about post college when I was getting into my music festival stage and listening to EDM and starting to fall in love with house music. But that was post college, and I'm like thinking, well, what is something that has stuck with me? And it just happened to be right around the national championship game that I was, answering your questionnaire.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
and of course we won, and and Hang On Sloopy was being played, not only when the game was going on, but afterwards. And I thought to myself, I said, man, there are some truly amazing moments in my life where this song has been played and been the highlight. Storm in the field after an overtime Iowa win, national championship in 2014. I got to DJ at a bar for that. Same thing for this past championship, and how many moments in my college career or weddings that I've had that have had Buckeye brides and grooms, and I get to play it there and do something creative with it. So it's not, I don't even like the song, but when I think of songs that really mean a lot to me or have been there during amazing moments during that time period, it has to be mentioned. Like, I couldn't think of anything else that made more sense.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. I mean, I love the fact that you chose that, because it has tied to so many memories, it sounds like, during your college years, and even now to this day too. And I'm sure
it's not going anywhere.
Like, so yeah, for those of you who are not in Ohio, yes, Hang On Sloopy, obviously a huge Ohio State. That is their song, their theme song, or whatever you want to call it. So anytime you have a wedding that has an Ohio State couple, it's played. And yes, and for all the games and stuff. I mean, how, as a DJ too, I mean, you probably, do you even know how many times you've played that song? If you look in your Spotify play history or anything, have you ever done that?
No, trust me, it's not in my Spotify. I guarantee you that.
Or not Spotify, sorry, Serato. I meant in your Serato.
I mean, I could probably look. I should have had my DJ laptop.
That would be very curious to see. Yeah. How many times?
It's up there. It has to be up there. Maybe not with like the Dancing Queens. Yeah, but Usher, I Want to Dance with Somebody. But it's probably in that tier 2.
Yeah. I wonder even how, not that we have to like go down this, sidebar, but I'm just so curious. How did Ohio State land on Hang On Sloopy?
I'm pretty sure, don't quote me, people, but I'm pretty sure the band, the Real McCoy, no, that's not the Real McCoys.
The McCoys.
They went to Ohio State, or was a hit song at a time when they were winning a championship. But I'm pretty sure they're either from Ohio or went to Ohio State.
Oh, that makes sense.
How it happened. But again, if someone said, no, that's wrong, I wouldn't be shocked.
Yeah, fun music history fact we'll look up after the show.
Yeah, exactly.
And see. All right, so moving on from Mike's college days into your adult life. So I had you think about a significant challenge that you have faced during your adult life, and that what song specifically has helped you face either a specific challenge, which you can share that story and talk about, or is it just a general song that it's your go-to listen to while you try to get through any challenge that you face?
Sure. And I'll be honest, I've been lucky in life in that there haven't been too many crazy challenges. Like, I've listened to the podcast, and some of the stories that your guests have are truly amazing, and what they've been able to accomplish, and how music has been a powerful force to get them through these tough times. I don't have stories like that. So the closest I have is the pandemic, where the thing that has brought me so much joy, which has made it easy for me to run a business and have financial success in some way, shape, or form, was taken from all of us, not just me, but from all of us.
Yeah.
And they're around the time when things were starting to open up, maybe around the world, maybe not in Ohio, but Florida, Texas, places where there was more conservative politically, but more liberal when it came to the pandemic. There was a song by Technasia, and we were talking about, we don't know how to pronounce his name, but I think it's Technasia, House DJ. And it really just captured some of the things that we were missing. And the chorus of the song goes, "Bring it back." So the song is called "Bring It Back" by Technasia. And it was talking about all the things we were missing while we were in the pandemic. And one of my favorite, there's so many house songs that mention this or they use that sample or lyric, but they always talk about, you walk up to the club and you hear the boom, 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 you hear the bass outside the club. And I'm getting chills thinking about it, but I've been to some of the best places for house music in the world: Miami, Ibiza, Las Vegas. And you stand in line and it's like, okay, you're getting in line slow, it gets a little bit louder, and then they take the bass away from you. You get in, you grab yourself a drink, you hit the dance floor, and you're just locked in for, it's not like when you go to the club in Columbus where you're locked in for 30, 45 minutes before you hit another bar, or you've been there for an hour and a half and the club closes. You're there for 3, 4, 5 hours, 1 to 2 DJs playing during that time. And it's that house music just has such a control over your body. And then and that's why it's one of my favorite styles of music to play, because you can almost control how people dance. It's like when you play a Latin song, people start getting their little merengue, their salsa out, whatever they have. With house music, it's just that they're swaying side to side. They might throw their hands up. They might be getting down, but you just have such a control over the crowd. And I love that. And then you add the lyrics that bring it back for the moment. It was just, I can't wait till this comes back. And, I had maybe a few weddings or whatever, that first trip that I took after the things opened up. This was a song during that time that just, this is what we're missing. This is what's important to me. I know what he's talking about. And in the song, they have people calling up. I mean, I don't know if they actually called it, but they're in the studio and they're talking about all the things they miss about the club. I miss the boom, 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 and this, and like the DJ taking us on a journey. Bring it back. Next call, bring it back. Oh, it's so good.
I'm gonna find real quick. Hold your thought, because I want to play. Let me find some of those parts. So this is the song here. You can hear this beat.
And I could listen to that beat forever.
Tingles down the back of my. I miss arriving at a club, hearing the muffled bass from outside. Tingles down the back of my neck.
I miss the way we dance. I miss the way we feel. I miss the way we love.
I'm getting so many children.
Can't sit still listening to this.
One more song, Chance.
There we go. Yeah.
And then the bass comes in. Oh, man.
Oh, that's so good. I'm so glad that you introduced me to this song. I've never heard it before. I'm a fellow house music lover as well.
Of course. And the only thing is I don't get to play it very often, right? Because I feel like it was a song for a moment. It's not really... There are better songs that you would play. I feel like if you play the song, it would bring back maybe bad memories of the pandemic. But in the moment when it came out, it was bringing back all the good memories that we had before it happened. So it was a very impactful song to me. I love when it comes on. And I just, whoever decided what samples of the phone calls were going in there is just brilliant. They understand house music. They understand what ravers truly enjoy. And wow, what a great song for the moment.
And I think, just the EDM culture, the house music culture scene. I think anybody that hasn't experienced should experience it at least once. It's just such a different energy, a different culture, different vibe. The people, everyone is super respectful and loving and friendly. It's just, you feel like you're in a very safe space. Yes. I always have felt that.
And music's at the center. You can go to Disney World and get that same feeling that I get when I get to the club, but instead of the characters and the magic being the focus, it's the music that's the focus. And I think that's what's amazing to me. And you can't just
and community too.
Yeah, the community, 100%. And you can't just play a house music. I can't play that song for someone and have them fall in love with house music. You truly have to go to a club with the right speaker system, with the right crowd, in the right environment, with the right DJ in order to get hooked. And now every time you hear that song, that's what you think about. That's where your heart goes. And it just, that's why you see the culture around it and why people plan their entire savings around these one trips to Ultra, EDC,
Burning Man,
Tomorrowland, Burning Man, whatever that is. It's truly magical. What the house, I don't know what it is. Maybe it's the 4 on the floor or the fact that you can kind of get. It's like trance. It's like a trance. I know there's actually trance music, but you get locked into a trance and then they take away the bass from you. You're like, okay, what's going on? And want to bring it back. So
yeah, it's a whole like melodic journey. Feel. And if you've seen, enough, if you go see enough DJs too, and us being DJs, being able to hear the other DJs and how they select their songs and taking the whole entire room, and dance floor on this huge, musical journey. And keep you guessing of, what's next? How are they going to switch the energy? And I've also had some of my most favorite memories on dance floors from me personally as a lover of dancing has been, with house music and seeing EDM DJs and stuff. I just love it. I mean, I'll still put on DJ sets, on YouTube just to listen to as well if I can't make it out.
All the time.
Just to listen. Yeah, I just love it so much. So so I highly recommend. Any of you listeners are very curious. It's a very safe space again. I remember too going and not knowing what to expect the first time that I went. As you hear stories. And, I was not like at the time too, I just was a little intimidated and not afraid. I'm like, ooh, is everyone going to be like high or there's going to be some creepy people? And I had all of these images and like unknown stories running through my head. But I remember when I first went and I was exposed to, we'll say it's techno back in the day, is when that was my first exposure to, music was going to a rave in Germany.
Oh, so, I forgot because you were all over.
Because I lived in Germany in the late 90s. So, early 90s. And then I moved in 96, back to the States. So that was my first exposure to it. But I remember that and then transitioning to, what would we call like house music back here in Chicago house specifically. Bad Boy Bill was one of the very first, I think I listened to. But anyway, so all that being said was just, I remember being shy, intimidated, not knowing what, and then going and then just feeling this euphoric feeling the entire time and just feeling I feel you just can escape and lose your mind, lose yourself and make new friends and just have that moment. And it's just like a natural high. You don't even have to.
I mean, don't get me wrong. There's definitely enhancers that people to do, and that's great for them and me, honestly. But enjoy it sober too. Like in my older age, I find that I'm enjoying house music sober a lot too. But
totally.
Enhancers can help.
All right, so going from that the house music era, which is into so we're going to talk about from challenges to triumphs. So we all have wins in our life. And what is a song that is your go-to jam for celebrating any win in your personal or work life or both? And
this was another hard question.
Favorite artists.
Yeah, I know. This was another hard question.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, because I again, it was in January that I was thinking about these, and I just gotten done with the Pittsburgh DJ Summit.
Oh yeah.
A big conference, and I was so proud of myself. And one of the
killed
notes in your questionnaire was, when you have a big win, what song do you listen to? And I was like, oh wow, I don't do that. You'd think I would do that, but that's not really what I do. But I thought of moments where I was truly happy, and what songs were happening at that time. And Inner Bloom by Rufus Du Sol is like mine and my wife Jessie's song, and that as soon as I thought of it, I was like, that's the one.
Oh, that's perfect.
I know you're a Rufus Du Sol lover, and that song is just amazing. And it's one of those songs where you can't just you can't just play it for any crowd. I really feel like the crowd has to earn me playing that song. Like they have to say, okay, you're open to music, or you're a fan of house music. You're gonna let me play a 5 to 7 minute song to really, because you're not mixing out of that song quickly. You really have to.
Oh, right. You have to let it ride.
Yeah. You got to get to that second drop and just let people feel all the emotions that are part. I heard it described as one of the best melodies of all time. And yeah, it definitely deserves to be up there. Do I think it's the one? Maybe not. Yeah. I think I'm too close to this song and it means too much for me to actually have an objective opinion on it. But I kind of just want to let people listen to it.
Yeah. And I've been playing it low. This is the whole intro. Like you said, it's a build up. So you have to kind of you just have to let it breathe. Let it
instrumentation, being able to see it live and because you're not just going to really see a DJ set from Rufus Da Soul. They're going to play it live for you. And it sounds just like the album in the actual strikes of the instrument, but you get the feeling of it. Like as we were talking about with the djembe, you get the feeling of it and see how they created the song. It's so good. So good.
So good. I'm going to bring it in up a little bit so people can hear it as well.
And then whenever I play this song, I think about Jessie, because as big of a Rufus fan as I am, she is just way up there. Let me shut up.
I know. And we have got to experience Rufus together, which is all of us. That was such a good night. And the night that you guys got engaged.
It is, yeah. And again, that's why I've nothing but positive experience when I play a song, which is why I'm so reluctant to just play it randomly, because if the crowd doesn't react the way they should react, I would get upset. I would be mad.
That's true. Yeah. Like, why can you not feel this? I think the only I agree with you too, as a DJ, being able to play Rufus is a privilege, first of all, at any event, specifically weddings. I seem to, I'm sure as you do too, attract the clients that like love Rufus. You know, it just, you instantly bond.
Yes.
And then to be able to play, you know that their friends that are coming to that wedding are going to have a deep appreciation for their music as well. So you can get away with playing some of these, tracks like Inner Bloom stuff and let them, let the whole track like that. This is what is it? A 8 minute? Yeah, no, it's a 9 minute, 38 second song. Then you could play that for a crowd and that love Rufus and will not get tired of it. They do not need you to quick mix out of that. They want to hear the whole thing because it's just an experience. And if anybody that's listening that has not heard of Rufus Da Soul, please, go check them out and also listen to specifically, this song Inner Bloom from the beginning to the end, so you can really feel like what we're talking about right now. So we've only just played a snippet of it, but.
Dayna Sol almost, right? Wasn't that one considering?
Yes, they're an inspiration, right? I mean, well, and I actually tried to look up their how they landed upon their name too. I was just out of curiosity, Da Soul, but it was different. Yeah, different meaning than mine, my soul meaning, but yeah. So anyways, but yeah, so good. Memory lane with Rufus. And now so here we go. We're towards the end already of this interview, which I feel is crazy. It went by so fast, and I feel like we could talk, so much longer. But so far we've talked about, of course, like George Michael being the first song that would be out the year that you were born, to celebrate that, moving into the Billie Jean, Michael Jackson hitting up and influencing your early years as the magic of his performance on stage and the energy, and knowing him knows how to create, I should say, those magical moments, and that can translate into our world of DJing. And then, of course, to your college years with Hang On Sloopy, and then all those other moments since then that bring you back to those years. And then, of course, the Bring It Back song by Technasia that got you through like the pandemic years, and then Rufus Da Soul, Inner Bloom. So that is your Soulful soundtrack of life. And now the last final question, surprise question.
Surprise.
Although you already probably know this since you've listened to the podcast, but hopefully you didn't think about a song yet, because I want it to be intuitive. I want it to be the first song that comes to you. So having reviewed all of those songs, what would you say it could be one of those songs, or it could be a completely different song. what would be the one song you would choose for your Soundtrack of Life album title song? Like that song that would be like encompass your entire soundtrack of life, and why?
I feel like I can't do this podcast without mentioning "Show Me Love" by Robin S. That's my favorite song of all time.
Oh, that's
yeah,
such a great song.
And it could have easily been that song for my early years because it came out when I was very young, and it's stuck with me through life. And it's a nice favorite song to have because you hear it not all the time, but usually in really good moments. Like if you're at a music festival, you might hear it 3-4 times throughout the weekend, if not more than that. So it's nice to have a song like that, because there's a lot of people who have a favorite song and they probably never get to hear it out because it's just really specific to them. Yeah. But I think it's nice to have one like that because I think it's touched so many people in the dance music scene, and I just couldn't have a podcast like this and not mention it. Where some of these other songs like "Hang On Sloopy," I don't even like that song. The lyrics don't really speak to me. I truly don't even know what he's talking about or what they're talking about. Billie Jean, it had with the controversy. I feel like "Show Me Love" is a song that it hits every single button. The lyrics are amazing. The groove is awesome. The drums, it's danceable. You're going to hear it. Like there's just not anything bad about the song or anything that you can even say is like it could be improved. To me, it's just the perfect song. So that's that. I want to end with that because it's when I think about the soundtrack of my life.
Yeah,
I had to pick one song. It would be "Show Me Love." It's on repeat. I know every word. It's such a great song.
I love that. Well, I'm going to play a little snippet because I just pulled it up real quick.
Like that bass line, the drums.
And all of the remixes too.
So many.
I haven't heard a bad remix of this song.
That's what I'm saying. You can use any part of the song. That sample, you could use.
Yes. Oh, I can see myself jamming to this a little bit later.
And it's another one. It's another one where if I've had a great crowd throughout the night and I want to remember that moment, I'll throw that song on. So if you hear me playing that song at your event and you didn't request it, just know that you had a truly epic party. Because we all say epic, right? We all say, oh, it's legendary. It was the dopest party ever, blah, blah. But if I'm playing this song, you can guarantee in your head that like, okay, not only are we having the time of our lives, Mike's up there having the time of his life. He wants to remember this moment.
Oh my gosh, I love that. Look at that little hidden gem there that you shared with us. And do you typically get a great crowd response when you drop that?
Yeah. If I'm dropping this, you're eating out of the palm of my hands. Like even if you're not, let's say you've never heard that song by some crazy chance or it's not your favorite song, I've set it up in a way and the night is going so well that you're not gonna leave the dance floor to that song. Again, it's iconic. Yep. It has the groove. It's got the drums. It's got the lyrics, like positive lyrics that you hear the chorus the first time and you can sing along for the rest of the song. You got to show me love. You got to show me love. So it's again,
absolutely.
You can't. If I'm playing it, it's because the crowd deserves it.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. And what a great way to end. Oh my gosh. So how do you feel about your full soundtrack of life?
Feel great. I mean, these are like I said. I've been having chills the whole.
Me too.
I've been talking 42 minutes. Just after chills after chills. So this was cool, and it wasn't just now. The questionnaire was fun to really go back and think about because we could have talked about all of the music that got me into the EDM world, all the music that got me into house at early age, like learning about hip hop and that being the dominant part of my life, or my dad's love of funk music and being in a rock band, or mom's Latin and Caribbean roots and learning that. So we might have to run it back, Dayna. Once you,
I know I'll have to have a part 2 with you. I think because I'd like to hear a little bit more about the funk influence and the Latin and Caribbean. That would be fun as well to explore some of those tracks.
But I know you got a lot of people on that list, and I appreciate you having me. And
thank you.
One of kind of the not tier one, but like one of the first people that you had on the podcast. That means a lot to me because I know how many amazing people and musicians, DJs you have in your life.
Yeah, well, you're one of them. So I appreciate you so much. And thank you so much for coming on and shining your light and sharing all of your soundtrack of life with us.
Thank you, everybody, for listening. Make sure you guys like the podcast.
Yes. And that too. No. Share, review, and also make sure to pay attention. In the show notes, we'll also make sure to tag you on where people can find and follow you. So if you want to give yourself a plug real quick, where can they find you online? Because you have a YouTube channel too. He has YouTube and Instagram, which you should follow him, especially if you're a DJ, because he has a lot of great content.
I'd say those are the main two. If you're younger, Gen Z, I have TikTok too, but I don't. It's not where my focus is. YouTube and Instagram are definitely my focus. That's where I'm replying to comments. That's where I'm asking questions. I think that's the root of my content, where TikTok and Facebook, they just kind of get the copy paste kind of thing. Yes. But if you really want to interact with me, YouTube and Instagram are always going to be best. DJ Axcess Music.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dayna.
I hope you enjoyed that uplifting interview and the songs that created their personal soundtrack. Remember, every moment of your life has its own melody. Embrace it, feel it, and let it move you. If you loved what you heard, don't forget to subscribe, share, and leave me a review. Join me next time for more soulful stories, belly laughs, inspiring tunes, and a dose of high vibe vitamin D. Until then, shine bright and dance through your life to your very own soulful rhythm.